Social Security will be saved with this very important bills. Today in this video, I have got all the important details how Social Security will be saved with this important bills reforms to the Social Security, and this one including people receiving Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA, RRB, people on retirement. We have got all the important details how it will impact your benefits, your monthly checks, your Social Security benefits. So guys, without a further ado, let's jump right into all the important details. Alright guys, so I see this very important concern right here into the community. Many people are asking right here into the comments down below what will happen regarding our Social Security benefits, our monthly checks, whether it's Social Security, SSI, SSDI, any sort of a fixed income beneficiaries. All of those group of people are kind of worried. Are they going to face any sort of a cuts if the debt ceiling requirement is not fulfilled? One way or another, I see that concern in the comments down below, and that's where we need to ask this very important question. Well, how they will solve this very important Social Security trust fund funding issue. And here is the thing guys, as lawmakers look to raise the debt ceiling to come to some sort of a bipartisan solution next month in the June, there will be a deadline, and actually there are three different proposals that will make a huge difference changes to the Social Security. So today in this video I'll be discussing all of those different solutions moving forward, how it will affect you, your benefits, your monthly checks, and most importantly I see these three proposals are kind of important in terms of chances of getting them passed. So before we deep dive into all the important details, make sure you subscribe to our channel, turn on all the bell notification, make sure to hit that like to stay updated to all the latest videos like this. And without a further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, now let's move on to the three different bills which are currently going through the Congress. Now, first one, the first important bill could have a really significant impact, and first one is called Social Security 2100, a sacred trust. Now, this one was led by John Lawson, as this bill could increase the benefits for a current and new Social Security beneficiaries by average of 2.2%. And also it would also protect against the inflation by changing the cost of living adjustment mechanism from CPIW to CPIE, meaning that Social Security beneficiaries would be going to receive a slightly bigger cost of living adjustment each and every year, because CPIE formula better adopts the spending habits of the seniors. So that's why CPIE will provide you more benefits increase each and every year. Additionally, this bill would also change the new minimum benefits to 125% of the federal poverty line or 25% above the federal poverty line. So that's always a great thing, because you know what, currently Social Security beneficiaries, especially people receiving SSI benefits, do receive like average of $914 and $1,371, which is actually below the current federal poverty level. So that's why it's very important to raise and protect the low income workers. And speaking of other important aspect, Americans will see reduce in their taxes on their Social Security benefits, because it would also improve the Social Security benefits for widows, widowers, and two income households, so they are not penalized for having two incomes. And also it will repeal the WEP and GPO, which is currently reducing the Social Security benefits for many of the public servants, and this one including teachers, police officers, firefighters as well. And finally, there is a bipartisan bill that would do the exact same thing, so it looks like the provision is more likely to going to pass either way. In conclusion, this bill could have a significant effect on Social Security beneficiaries, and it will be interesting to see what will happen next in the upcoming weeks. Also, moving forward, it will be ending the 5-month waiting period to receive SSDI disability benefits. Also, it will provide credits to the caregiver and extend the Social Security dependent benefits for students to age 26 for part-time students. Also, we'll see increased access to Social Security dependent benefits for children who live with their grandparents or live with their relatives. And it will also require SSA to mail annual statements to all the workers showing their FICA contribution workers and the projection of their benefits in the future. This will help out workers to prepare for the retirement disability in the event of unexpected death. Also, it will prevent unwarranted closures of the SSA field offices and improved access to legal representation of the people who seek for the long-term disability benefits. Speaking of the current detail regarding this bill had 202 co-sponsors all of them Democrats. Unfortunately, due to Republican majority in the House right now, the bill is unlikely to going to pass, and that's why coming over to the second important bill, I wanted to talk about the Bernie Sanders Social Security Expansion Act. Now, this has been very popular among the US voters, with Republicans and Democrats both in support of the bill. So this has a great chance of getting passed, and recently we have been hearing a news this bill would extend the solvency of Social Security for 75 years. Those who earn over $250,000 per year will have to pay Social Security payroll taxes of 6.2% to 12.4%. It would also increase the benefits by $200 for every single month for all across the board benefit increases. Also, additionally, it would change how the cost of living adjustment is calculated from CPIW to CPIE, the method which would improve the minimum benefits for Social Security recipients up to 125% of the federal poverty line. Finally, it would restore the student benefits up to age 22 for children of disabled or deceased worker, and it would combine the disability insurance trust fund to old age survivor trust fund to help out seniors and people with disabilities. Speaking of the current update on Social Security Expansion Act, the bill is sponsored by Senator Bernie Sanders, a strong advocate. You know what? 9 co-sponsors in the Senate, all of whom are Democrats. House has more support with 31 co-sponsors, but again, they are all Democrats. Therefore, this bill is unlikely to pass either in the Senate or House, because you know what? It needs 60 votes in the Senate and Republicans do not support it. So that's the important problem. Now, speaking of the final proposal which is being currently worked out is a bipartisan one, and this bill is headed by Senator Bill Cassidy and Senator Angus King. The proposal may or may not include the raising full retirement age to 70, but you know what? Democrats are unlikely to support the bill if it does. So this bill could provide a lot of relief for people who are disabled or have deceased worker. It would also combine the disability insurance trust fund with the old age survivor trust fund and help out seniors and people with disabilities. It's important to note that even though this bill is supported by many of the Republican voters, Republican lawmakers are unwilling to get on board because they do not want to raise the tax in any penny for that matter, and that means it could be more difficult to get this bill passed either on House or Senate. Under this proposal, the retirement age would remain at age 67, which is a good thing because life expectancy isn't very long, especially for the people who do hard labor, very tough jobs. That's the main idea behind this proposal, to create a sovereign wealth fund with $1.5 trillion that would be invested in a way that seeks 8% net positive return each and every year. Now, this would make sure that the trust fund would not become insolvent by 2033, and this would be the first fund itself for a longer period of time. If the fund is successful, it's possible that beneficiaries of the Social Security could receive an increase, though it's not clear how much increase it would be. At this point, it's very important to note that this is just a proposal and it has not been turned into a bill yet. If this become a bill, then we need to make sure that there is enough support in the both Republicans and Democrats for it to pass, and we need to act very quickly as 2033 is only 10 years away. So all in all, the first bill is about decreasing the US national debt right now in the United States, and it's at all-time high right now. It's growing very rapidly, and the bill proposes to reduce the debt by 2033, which is 10 years away. To do this, bill calls for a combination of spending cuts, tax increases, and other reforms. The second bill is about expanding the access to the healthcare. This bill calls for expanding the access to healthcare to millions of uninsured Americans, and it would also seek to reduce the healthcare cost and improve the quality of the care. And the third bill is promising. Third bill is about promoting energy efficiency. This bill proposes to invest the renewable energy sources and promote the energy efficiency measures, and it would also seek put price on the carbon emission. Currently, these are the three bills I think should be passed in the Senate, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Which one of this bill you think should be passed and why?